Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. I'm coming with another writing on the wall, and it is to speak of somebody else's work who I give absolute full credit to, and it is Mark Blumenthal from the Grey Zone. I saw him on Jimmy Dore last night, and I'll be leaving the link in the description box of that show so that it can be done full justice, this information. I'm just bringing it to you to bring it to light and also back it up with a video that I put out way back regarding journalists, regarding Syria in particular, but the pre-programming of the consent of the collective for wars in general and what goes on there and has gone on there for a long time. And also for it to correlate with or be a side of the video I did last night regarding what I saw in my visions, in my knowings psychically and viewing it remotely. And so this is the more physical aspect to back up what really goes on here and how much effort they actually put in to create a space and create a climate for war in these various different places for multiple reasons. But this is the physical 3D aspect of it, of how that happens. So Mark Blumenthal from the Grey Zone on Jimmy Dore last night spoke about how he's done great research into this for a long time now, and he spoke about them having the receipts, absolutely, and they do, for Reuters and BBC. Of course, the BBC being here in the UK, an establishment that I despise, solicited multi-million-dollar contracts to advance the British state's intervention with aims of promising to cultivate Russian journalists through FCO and funded tours and training sessions, establishing influence networks in and around Russia, and promote pro-NATO narratives. Of course, that means pro-British too, fundamentally, narratives in Russian-speaking regions. Now, this is what they do. I mean, talk about flipping the script. I'm always talking about them flipping the script. And I mean, this takes the biscuit, everything. And I'm not defending the governments in Russia, the leaders in Russia and whatnot, you know, I'm not doing that. But I'm just saying, as far as everything that they put out there, it's just like a narcissist. If you listen closely, but of course, usually when you've been living with a narcissist, you're a bit mind swiped, a bit mind effed, if you don't mind me saying. Been there, done that, so I can speak honestly on that. But if you weren't, mind effed, you would see that they actually tell you what they're doing to you. They tell you what they are, because they want that energy feedback. They find that fun. And also they need the consent to a certain extent to keep getting away with what they're getting away with. Otherwise they would just, get overwrought and kill you. And the free gravy train of energy finance or whatever it is would be over. And that's very much like the people within the governments on the collective stage. So they actually, what they do is they'll protest too much. They project onto others actually what they are doing. And so this is where they've flipped the script completely. Everything that they have for a long time blamed Russia for, including in the UK, it's been the other way around, very much so. This very J-like takeover of infiltration of all of these systems has also been happening on the side of the US government and the UK government within Russia. And so it goes on to say, intelligence operation. In several proposals to the British Foreign Office, Reuters boasted of a global influence network of 15,000 journalists and staff, including 600 or 400, maybe that is, inside of Russia. I was taking notes quickly. Now, I mentioned this in a video way back about these 15,000 journalists. I just didn't know that there was specifically hundreds of them inside of Russia. The UK Foreign Office projects were carried out covertly and in partnership with independent, high-profile online media outfits, including Bellingcat, Medusa, and Mediazona. Bellingcat included participation in a UK FO Foreign Office intervention on behalf of the pro-NATO candidate of Northern Minnesota, Northern Minnesota, 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 Macedonia's 2019 election. British government has refused freedom of information. So by law, they're supposed to give out that when it's applied for in the correct way, writing in, and under the Freedom of Information Act here, we're supposed to get it within like 30 days, unless there's extenuating circumstances that they can prove that it'll take a bit longer to get the data of whatever it is. They do have to, by law, give you that information. And so they've denied this, they've refused this under the Freedom of Information Act regarding the division's budget, and they stonewalled, they stopped members of parliament, quite high up members in some cases, and quite, on the ground, who sought data about budgets and agendas. BBC Media Action proposed growing pro-NATO media in conflict areas, like the Donbas region of eastern Ukraine, where where a proxy war has raged since 2014 between Western-backed Ukrainians military and pro-Russian separatists. It was a textbook information warfare, weaponizing broadcast media to turn the tide of a battle in a protracted grinding network. And so this is, where they are literally, they've made sure via BBC and Reuters and all of these other different media things who competed for contracts. This is where I tell people in the UK, I cut my aerial line in front of one of the BBC henchmen coming out to say, you're not paying a TV license. Stop paying your damn TV license. It is not for the TV. They're going to give you that for free because they're hypnotizing you through it. They're going to give you that for free. It is just under the guise of they can do such illegal things with this money. They are never clear as to where this money really goes. It is ridiculous that you would give money each month, every month, to the BBC now, knowing what we know about them regarding paedophilia, the protection of that within the system of the BBC, and also things like this coming out. They are much more the strong arm than people give them credit for, and by paying a direct debit every single damn month, you are actually not just giving them the means to do so, but you're also giving them your consent to do so with whatever they, choose to meddle in. And so it goes on to say, previously known as Breakthrough, the now Zinc network, which is what it's called now, has contracted for the UK Home Office to covertly implement media projects propagandising British Muslims under the Prevention of Radicalisation Initiative. So they're using the initiatives for the opposite reasons underneath the radar. It's so disgusting. I can't stand this BBC network. I can't stand what it stands for and what it allows to go on within its doors. Zinc set up a YouTuber channel network in Russia and Central Asia designed to propagate the message of the UK and its latest allies. So they are actually using YouTube to do the opposite of what they say they stand for. BBC has played a part in demonizing governments across countries where London and Washington want regime change via propagandists. And so this backs up what we already knew about the receipts that Mark Blumenthal had discovered regarding the receipts of these travels for these 15,000 journalists and these training sessions, and how much these journalists were getting paid to set up terrifying pictures in Syria before it was so messed up, and literally squirting water on a little boy's eyes and saying it was acid of some sort or tear gas of some sort. And the father came out to try and say, no, my little boy was playing. They pulled him off the street, asked him if he wanted to do something, and then made him look like he was all alone and had something burning his eyes. So they were setting up scenes like that also to get the collective's consent to say, oh, we've got to go and save these people. We've got to do something different. We can't let this happen. And so that's been going on. The UK Foreign Office paying to bring Russians over to the UK, then training them and conditioning them. This is, you know, the ultra. It's conditioning them, training them and conditioning them. They're playing with their minds. They've got these robot-like journalists going out there, getting paid a lot, so they have that incentive also, but having all of this, you know, minds melt is just, it's terrible. Reuters had been getting paid in the 60s and 70s via Britain. They lied about this by saying they do not do it anymore. Well, now we know that they've never stopped doing it, because now, through the good work of Mark Blumenthal and Jimmy Dore putting it out there, the receipts are being shown that you've never stopped doing this and you're doing it right now. This is a huge revenue for Reuters and the BBC. The BBC licenses, says it pays them to block people coming in. So basically what I'm saying there is what I was just saying before. The BBC TV licenses literally pays for them to come in and block people who are maybe coming into politics, maybe like the Jeremy Corbyn scandal. They ruined that man. You know, where he's trying to come in and stop what's going on here, or speak up a little bit about what's going on, about the corruption and what we were being led into. When they actually get somebody who's coming in to do a good thing, the BBC has such, and combined with Reuters, the BBC and them have such a large scope and this, you know, good name of journalism. That they come in and literally ruin a person. They make a person who may be almost angelic, like in their high frequency towards humanity, look like a lunatic or look like a narcissist, or accuse them of something terrible, which of course they did with the anti-Semitism accusation of Jeremy Corbyn. And so they've got this huge what's coming out here for me is that they are what I've been seeing. I didn't know about Reuters. I knew a bit, but not enough. Didn't know about the combination of BBC and Reuters being a strong arm together, almost like the same body. They're the gatekeepers, you know, so they're keeping the space within governments, they're keeping the space within the so-called powers that be safe from infiltrators that might be infiltrating to try and do some damn good, because they can come down on anybody that's coming in like that, like a, you know. And so like a hawk on a rabbit, they can zoom in and make it look however they want to make it look, and people believe them still. They believe them still. And so again, we give this complacent consent as the collective, and it has to stop, because you might think, well, pay me TV license, what harm can it do? It's doing a lot of harm. And even through the BBC charity, Mark Blumenthal hints towards them channeling money through there. I've always said these big charities, truth would be coming out regarding them. The BBC charity is one of them. It's just one of them that is used for very malevolent reasons. So yeah, you might say, oh, well, it's just a something every month. Well, your just a something every month is actually helping these idiots to be established as gatekeepers to change, and ruining people's lives in the process, causing death. These people, it's saying here, and it's been previously known, are setting up wars. They're setting up the land, the ground for wars. They're cultivating people's minds to give consent to such things. So this has to stop, and this has to be known. So please share this video or share the link in the description box, or both, because this needs to be out there and needs to keep getting out there. This needs to be general knowledge. Things like this coming out, this is the exciting part of what's happening now. Though I can't stand that it's ever happened, we've got to deal with the fact that it has happened and it is happening, so we can't ignore it. So what we can do is make sure as many people know about this as possible. It's important that we're interested right now in each other's revelations of secrets of the governments. It doesn't matter if you don't live in the country, because things like this, we can start to make connections across countries. This is heavily involving many different media outlets, alongside BBC and Reuters sitting there at the top, harnessing them. And that causes a lot of strain on humanity. It causes a lot of death. It causes the wars that cause the death. It causes a lot of lack, and it literally steers the collective into the reality that these so-called powers that be and those behind them want. So please get this out there. Please share the knowledge. Please, just by telling people regarding this, and look up Mark Blumenthal at the Grey Zone and Jimmy Dore to actually get the receipts. So when they say, well, how do you know that? Well, here's the receipts. This is what has been seen. And this is what they will not let us see, that they are denying by law under the Freedom of Information Act to give. So what else is there to know? So I just wanted to get that out there alongside what happened, what I put out yesterday, just to back it up and also do my part to make sure that this knowledge is spread far and wide. I appreciate you all listening. Sorry, I was scribbling that down as I was listening last night, so I could just get some quick notes to put out there. So I'm sorry for the broken reading, because half of the words I don't understand myself that I've scribbled down. But, you know, look up the link in the description box and share it out. I really do appreciate it. Much love, stay balanced, and wholeness.